Right, I've done a video on changing the oil on the Ford Focus before, but wasn't as great as I could have done it, so let's do it again. So first thing you need your oil filter. Okay, OEM oil filter from Ford. The proper oil filter from Ford looks like this. Right, little knobbly bit there, the oil ring. That's the proper one from Ford. Anything else does not fit this Ford Focus 1.5 TDCI 2015. So that's marked 3.5, 1.5 diesel, right? Turbo diesel. You also need Torx 30, T30, some socket spanners, socket sets, 3/8 spanner for the oil plug. 0W30 oil, you need 5 litres because it takes about 4.5, I think it was. Need one of these as well. This is usually at 7mm to undo any kind of clamps. Need a torch. Let's head torch. The reason why you do your own oil change, in my opinion, these days is, number one, you don't know what sort of oil they're giving you. The proper oil for this is 0W30. So 0 represents a very low viscosity, which is a very unthick or very runny fluid. You need that to reach all the valves and everything. In the past I've used 5W30 because 0W30 was very expensive. And I thought I could get away with using 5W30 since this car's done 140,000 miles. What tends to happen is the piston rings are worn slightly, and slightly thick oil might help it to seal, but ideally you still should be using 0W30 most modern cars. Check with your handbook. The reason why I managed to get the 0W30 is because it was cheaper. It was on a cheap deal, and I bought it maybe like 6 months ago. Right, how do you know you need an oil change? On the Ford Focus, these modern cars, it will tell you, because when you switch on the car, like so, we should say oil change required. Now I'll also show you how to get rid of this kind of service warning advising light in a minute, a bit later on. But we've got the tools we need. I forgot to mention we need an oil pan and some sort of like a oil collection tub to take to the local recycling centre that deals with oil. Okay, so you can't just dump this down the drain or anything like that. So make sure you have something to catch the oil with, and then to store it so you can dispose of it properly. Some people often make sure they buy like a little O-ring, like a metal O-ring, copper sometimes, to go at the bottom of some plug, and I can't remember what millimeter that plug is. That bolt, it could be 17, could be 19, probably more like 19, but we'll find out anyway. So I would do this when the car is cold, not warm, because you'll burn your hands. Well, I say cold, not freezing cold, but run it a little bit if it's freezing cold, but you know what I mean, just normal room temperature would be okay. So we've got the bonnet open, here's the dipstick, and you should clean that once in a while and check the oil level. It should be somewhere between the maximum here and the minimum there, so somewhere in the middle. I usually put it to the maximum, so you've got plenty to kind of, because your car will burn oil. This car hardly burns any oil, but it will do to some extent. This is where you fill the oil in. You just take it off the camera stand, so you'll have to undo that and put it in there afterwards. But first we need to drain it. I know the oil filter, which I didn't film very well, is down there. You know, you'll need a big socket. In fact, I should have mentioned that, so be warned. I'll let you know there's a big socket that we need to use. Underneath the car, the under tray doesn't extend all the way to the rear. It's quite a good under tray actually, as under trays go. Stick your T30 in there. I hope you can see it because I'm at a funny angle. There's 3 at the back, 3 screws at the back, 3 at the front.
with one, catch everything in the magnetic tray. And otherwise don't lose anything. I tend to take the rear ones off first, let it flop down and I'll slide outwards. So we do it the other way round. I don't know, maybe you can do it that way. It's 2. I'm probably missing half of these shots here. 3. There's also a little catch on both sides of the under tray. I'll show you where it is in a minute. I think, is it 3 or 4 at the front? Oh, you need a trim removal tool as well. So working on the front now, because there's 2 little trim, plastic trim things. They should be the last to come out. Last things to come out. This one. And this one is I'll put like washer in there. It's starting to wear out. I don't want the fabric wearing. You can do things like this for your car, you know. If you think the fabric's starting to tear, put a washer in it. Good idea. And there's a washer embedded in that one. That's 2. Last one. Get the torch out. The trim removing tool needs to remove this plug thing here, and same for the other side. Not getting light to it. Yes, dear. So I'm on the left side. Should be a little groove. I'm gonna do this all properly so you can see it. So the last video I did changing it all was, I think I lost some footage. And people always comment, we need to see what you're doing. Fair enough. You go and catch this. Don't lose that. Make sure you've got a spare. And I can't remember, I think they're not as big as, they're not like 12mm, they're more like 8, I think, these ones. Look at that one, I'm going to splayed that. It's going to be awkward to put back in. So I should have a spare. Now there's 2 catches. Where's the first catch on this car? Nope, there's no catches. I'm confusing it with my Honda. Oh, there is a catch. Here. See that? See where it sits in there? That side. On the opposite side, so it's halfway along. How do I film it? Coming for a different angle with my torch. There it is, the other side. And if I take the thing off, you'll be able to see it a lot better. Hang on, bear with me. There it is. So that's the rear is over there, front's over here. That's where it is. Alright. Underneath your car, there's the oil sump. It's kind of warm, so it shouldn't burn myself. It's going to come out probably like that to walk towards me. And as it drains, it will kind of move more backwards and burn more backwards. It's a nice large opening vessel to catch it. 21mm. And if you see, look, there's a copper washer in there. I'm going to keep that if I can. Okay, don't do that, man. Well, I'll have to do this two-handed. You got it about there. Notice I've rounded it off slightly. I hate doing that. So, I mean, I could elevate this pan a little bit. Straight down. Now notice it's kind of slow because I've got the lid on top. You know that where you oil refill. There's no air getting in. So slow is fine. Here's my oil thing, catcher thing, or storage thing before I take it to the dump, and it's dribbled out nicely. That's nice. You can
good idea now to open this. I always tend to put these things here, so if I close the lid accidentally I don't snap anything, and it usually doesn't fall out. Alright, so it's very runny, this oil at the moment. Next job is to screw this fella back on. It's got the copper washer in there. I haven't really ruined it, should be fine. Screw that back on nice and tight. Alright, so I'll need some tissue or something to clean this off. That goes back on. Usually these plugs are much more chunkier than this. It's quite fragile. In my mind, I'm considering getting a new one of them sump bolts, probably about £10, I should imagine. Carefully pour the oil away. I'm doing this order because I might kick the thing, spill it everywhere. But the one of course, more important points is to get the oil back into the car. But filter needs to be changed first. Alright, so 7mm. This thing, it needs to come out. And this is the thing I missed on my previous video. And I've been asked, we can't see what you're doing. Good point. We can't see the filter, good point. My mistake, I think I lost the footage. I did film it. I think I can get this off and right now, but without having to take the air filter off. I think I can. If not, air filter comes out. It's a mass airflow sensor. I think I can squash this one right. Spin it around so it's out of the way. Oh no, it's not going to be nice to me. Okay. It was nice in the end, I think. Just about right. There's a little groove there. And there's a little groove underneath. Right. There's a little groove there. See the little groove? There's a little groove. I can feel the little groove just here. Whether you don't get muck on that mass flow sensor. Right. So we know which pipe, we get confused which end goes where, the groovy bit. This other end has not got a groovy bit. Put that out of the way. Okay, here it is. See it? Okay, let's remove this. Here it is. I can't remember again what it is. So it's not super large. Let's try socket we got out of the 21. Don't think it'll fit. Let's try it. I'll need an extension on my socket, wherever I need. Or it's either going to be really not 21. We'll work it out. Okay, that big old socket is a 27, and there's no room. Using my 7 again, I swore these were 6 if you remember last time. So air filter's got to come out. And plug the mass airflow sensor. So it comes with it in one piece, so maybe you don't have to. It's a good idea too, anyway, I think. So 1, 2. I'm missing something here. I can tell. And I don't know if you can see that. I can pull this out, whatever you call it. Oh, that's better. Oh no. Top lid comes off. tin you come out. Okay, that comes out. That's what the air filter looks like. No, I can't put that on the windscreen. It's not going to work. And this can come out. I think it comes out as one unit. It just sits in there. If I remember right. Should have enough space actually now. I'll move that away. I think it just pops out. Remember, it's sitting on like rubber cushions. Right. Okay. I think hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. This is my 27. Let's extend that a bit. Can't remember. It's like a. Don't really tighten this up too much. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't remember what it is. 20 newtons or something like that. Not much. No, less than that. It must be something like 15, 10, 15 newton meters on the torque. But not a lot. Yeah, I'm going to lose something here. Don't put the under tray on yet in case things fall out. I was tempted to. Let's take this out first. I'm not doing this properly. There's no grooves, no idiot proof. It's just circular. Put it down. Just cutting corners don't work. Oh, here it is. There it is. Pull the sensor out. Pull the rubber hose out. Vacuum hose. Okay, that's it. Now I do it. Okay. Hope you caught all of that. Might need an extension bar now. Much better, right? This is going to be dribbling with oil as well. Forgot about that. Hang on, let me catch it. Alright, there it is. Nothing came out. Notice it, notice. Notice, I should speak properly. In there, right at the bottom, at about 7 o'clock, there is a hole. See that hole? That's where that little probey thing goes. Goes in there. I can't remember, there's a neck to it. Put the filter in first or put the filter on this cap first. I can't remember. We'll work it out. Here's an O-ring, square shaped one, just here. Sometimes you just leave it if it's not all beaten up. It sits in that groove there. Smart thing to do is to put a bit of oil on it. Push this one in first logically. Maybe not. No, there's a hole and there's this thing here. So just that it sits neatly in there. Anywhere else it doesn't sit, it just sits in neatly. Push it in first, don't put it in a cap. A little bit of oil, otherwise it'll be hard to take off. Actually, that square section O-ring is square, not kind of twisted. It's sitting there nicely, I think. Double check it. Right, now it's just a case of screwing it on and it will just click onto it, I hope. Push it first. There we go. Okay. Everything just about fits, so you have to take the, very advisable to take the air filter out because you can't really do this, not properly. So it's squeezing into the filter properly. We know it's seated properly, the filter. Logically put it in the hole first, of course. We've got a bit of oil on the O-ring. You notice where I'm holding the ratchet right at the end. I don't want to give it high torque. It's just nicely sitting in there. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Absolutely fine. Alright. Okay, next step. Put it back together. Put the rubber thing back on first, the rubber, we call it a pipe. Spray a bit of WD-40 on these little points that meet into the rubber so it sits in nice and easy. Even here. Alright, sits on 4 points. Hopefully now and we've got the rubber hose and the vacuum hose and mass airflow sensor thing as well to come. Sits in there. Locate it in the groove first. The rear one, the rear groove. So anything is squashed. Goes in the rear first. Now it sits nice and easily. It sits in there. See how it just, if things are in the right place, they just sit nicely in cars. I love it. So it just went straight in. And this one's almost zooming in there by itself. There's a good time to put in the vacuum hose. No need for any oil in there or anything like that. Good time to put this in, but it's gone underneath the hose. It should have been on top. That's the airflow sensor. There was a little bit fitted into it. I'm going to put it underneath this one. So now should be no difficulty fitting that in. There we go, like that. Alright. Rear of the filter this side, I think. Little kind of groove it sits into, I think. It almost rotates. Let's try the other end. No, I'm stupid, must be this side. So, the bulgy out bit fits into the pipe here. Get a better angle on that. Bulgy out bit, it's got rubber on it. There we go. And watch here, right on the edge here, it should sit nice and snug, like so. Now with that on, you can see now this is where it fits into. There's a little hole here that it goes in. Don't forget to tighten these down. If we don't tighten this one's really tight, but this one is not tight. If we don't tighten this down, we'll get an air leak. We'll get all sorts of running problems. Right, so put the lid back on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't forget to put the this strappy thing back on. Everything should sit nicely. And last thing, don't forget to add the oil. So I'm just adjusting the camera. 0 W30. Here we go. Need a funnel. All them things I said you're supposed to get I didn't really mention at the start. Did I mention the 27? No, I didn't mention the 27mm. Did I mention trim tool? No, I didn't mention the trim tool. Did I mention the 20, not 20, it was 21mm for the sump? No, I didn't mention that either. Right, okay. I will mention, make sure you add the oil in on reasonably level ground. Check here where I've been leaving everything. Remember, that's there, there's nothing else there. Right, clean everything down, don't forget the under tray. Don't do the under tray until it's the last minute. You don't know if you're dropping anything underneath it. I'm running out of battery, so well, I've just found I've got a little bit of 5, a little bit of 0, and a little bit of 5. So I'm going to add all of it in, just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to add the 0 in. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Good luck. So I've got probably 20% on the 5W. It should be okay. Shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, leave any comments below. I know I botched up the last one by not really showing it, but this time I think I've done alright. So it takes about 4.2, 4.2. Check dipstick. Should be level ground. I've got it up high, but should be okay. No problem. Keep the oil buckets to take down to the dump. Use that as a vessel to take down to the dump if you want. Anyway, one last thing. Don't forget, do not overfill it. Do not underfill it. Keep checking it. Slow down your rate of chucking it in. Get near the end. Wipe it off. So it should be sitting at the top there when I'm done. Just there now on the bottom mark. So between bottom mark and top mark it's not a lot. I'll even film this for you. That is probably going to take it to the middle near the top. Probably be near the middle now. So it takes a while to settle down. Give it some time. Absolutely running out of battery. If it dies, it means I've run out of battery. Here it is. It's on that 4th mark. Right, so one very last thing, as I said in the beginning, to reset the service light or the service reminder on the little screen that came up, you need to depress the brake. Well, you need to have the car off, then come into the car and then switch on, press the power switch, but don't step on the clutch. Do not step on the clutch, do not start the car. So have all the electronics on, so the car will be on. And then what you need to do straight away is to put your left foot on the brake. This is a UK design, so the driver's on the right side. Put your left foot on the brake and then your right foot all the way down on the accelerator and hold it. And you should see a little message saying resetting service at the moment, and you'll have a little line at the bottom of it, so resetting service or something like that. You have a little line at the bottom. It looks like, well, I hoped it would just go, you know, like move across, and then you know you've done it. But it doesn't. There's only one little line. You think it's not working, but it is. Hold it. It seems like forever. It's more like something like 20 seconds. Then it'll say reset service complete. That'll be it. So job will be done. Thanks for watching. Once again, I always have my one more thing, and this is just another thing. Thanks for watching.